I got the house to myself so I can be as loud as I want. It's not true. Spencer's still here. Sorry, Spencer.
When there's stuff on your mind and it's feeling unclear, just hop on the mic and speak without fear. Let's air out.
Oh, what's going on, ladies and folks? I always forget that we have a dude living in the basement. He's such a a sneaky guy. He just slips in and out, doesn't talk to us. I actually admire the amount of anti-socialism that he has towards us. He's stuck to it the whole time, because I'd be the same way. If it's been long enough and there's a conversation going on and I haven't said anything, I feel like I can't just jump in at any point now. It's been too long of silence. I've established my point of not making a point, so now I can't break that. And Spencer's is doing the same thing. He can't imagine he introduced himself now. That would actually be way funny. If he said, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Spencer, by the way." We never ran into each other, but by the way, my name's Spencer. Nice to meet you. That would crack me up. That would be Spencer. If you're a fan of Aaron Air Out, please do that. Please, we're asking for you. It is it's a rare moment to have this place to myself. Martin's out in LA. Ethan is in Halifax right now. So just the air dog all by himself and trying not to be a full-on degenerate, which I have been so far this weekend. I've spent a lot of time just on the couch doing absolutely nothing. Since I get home from work, I've gotten breakfast both days this weekend. We'll get into that later, but just got breakfast both days, sat in front of the couch, and then just stayed there for hours. Well, no, usually I got home, ate breakfast in front of the couch, went up, took a nap, then migrated back down to the couch and just been watching Disney Plus for 12 hours straight this weekend. It's not been good. It's not been good, but I gave myself an ultimatum. Said this, you can throw your life away this weekend, but starting tomorrow, you get back on track. We got a big tournament at work. Got to be on your best behavior. I've been having fantasies about this tournament too. Hey guys, I was really gonna re-record this entire first half hour of the podcast. I just went to bed last night really not feeling it, not enjoying what I talked about. But instead of doing that, I'm just gonna kind of hop in here where I went off track and just kind of maybe add a little spice, a little variety into your life over this old Aaron commentary. The fantasy I was having about the tournament was not a sexual fantasy. It was actually, I just had this dream that I'd be cutting my greens, just doing a great job out there with this full-grown man mustache, and then someone with the camera operator, probably a man with a mustache himself, would spot me and then be like, "Hey," talk to his reporter. They'd be like, "Hey, we should go interview this guy, see what's going on, talk to the greens crew, get a little inside scoop on what's happening in this tournament." Then they'd talk to me. I'd give a great interview. I'd drop the podcast and it'd go on national television, probably on TSN or something. And then Aaron Arrow just blows up this week, and that's the fantasy I've been having. If it comes to fruition, to be seen. But yeah, that's what I was talking about when I talked about the fantasy. I'm sure you'll hear this voice coming in a few more times now this podcast. Enjoy. Women's Canadian Amateur Open. It's some combination of those words. I don't know which order they're supposed to be in officially, but there's a big golf tournament. Picking my nose right on camera. There's a big golf tournament going on at Westmount for the week. So we got to keep it in tip-top shape, working split shifts, which is going to be exciting. They're giving us breakfast and dinner each day as well, which is even more exciting. Don't have to spend a dime at the halfway house or afterwards. No more Uber Eats this week, too. That's going to be nice. So I feel like that's a good, you need a milestone to kind of change your life, New Year's is it's just an arbitrary date that we can just use to okay, well, now I've left my shithead self in 2022, and now it's 2023, and I'm a saint. That's just how it works in the human species. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna get my life together, and you're hearing it first on this podcast right here. If you see me at work tomorrow, it's a new man. It's a brand new Aaron. Already a new Aaron though this entire year. I feel like everyone who knows me from Westmount knows a different version of Aaron that I've been putting out there for the past 6 years, being just withering away as an depressed alcoholic just spending all my time being belligerently drunk on the weekends and not remembering it. But yeah, brand new man, and we're kind of falling off the rails here, getting a little too lazy and not. We're enjoying the little things far too much. We gotta start, chipping away at some bigger things, making some moves if we want to be homeless next year. If we want to aspire to be able to live out of your car, you can't just start doing it. You gotta plan ahead. You gotta have some kind of finances to back you up. So I think that's what I gotta do. I gotta do that. But today's just a throwaway. It is. I did put this way off again at 7:30 on Sunday. I could have recorded this hours ago. I've had the house to myself, and that's always my excuses. I need to wait for Ethan to be away so I can freely yell in this room without, just ignoring Martin, who's like diagonally away from me, slightly further away than Ethan's room, who's just right beside me. And I'm getting off topic here. I've been watching a lot of Malcolm in the Middle, actually. That's been my go-to show. Of my favorite shows, I've talked about this ages ago, but it's like My Name is Earl, Malcolm in the Middle, and those are two. Well, there's a third they always threw in there. Probably now you could throw in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I think before that. But yeah, either way, Malcolm in the Middle and My Name is Earl were like two shows I grew up with that I'm like, these are staples of my like comedy. Like when I think of comedy TV shows, I think of those two. And honestly, both of them held up. I watched My Name is Earl last year or 2 years ago on Disney Plus. Now I'm working my way through Malcolm in the Middle. I think I just finished season 1 today. And the show is absolutely fantastic, honestly. And I don't know the last time I watched it in full. I think in first year I watched it a bit with the girl who was my first kiss. Got my first kiss in first year university, if you guys didn't know that. 19 years old, finally kissed a girl playing drunk Jenga. But yeah, we were watching Malcolm in the Middle, and then she broke my heart, and I don't think I ever finished the series. And it was kind of a stain, it was a tainted memory. But now going back, very funny show. Like scene that gave me a good chuckle was I think Malcolm got a head wound, and they're like, "There's no ice in the freezer. All I could find was this," and it's a pack of raw chicken. And I never clued into that joke before as a child, that putting raw chicken. They're like, "Yeah, that'll do. It's frozen." Sticking raw chicken on his forehead. Yeah, that gave me a good chuckle. And then Malcolm had like a great point, actually, that I really agreed with him. It was some episode about him liking a girl. And Malcolm, he's like I don't even know what grade he's supposed to. He's like a 12-year-old boy or something. He's like he's in elementary school. I don't know how old he's actually supposed to be. But young, maybe like 5th grade or so. And some girl likes him, and he's like, she comes up to like, "Hi, Malcolm, how are you doing today?" And then he does his, fourth wall break, turn to the camera. He's like, "What does she mean by that? Does she like me? Is she saying she likes me? What could she possibly mean by hi, Malcolm, how are you doing?" And now I've got to respond to this question by 1, acting like I don't like her, 2, not acting like I don't like her, and 3, acting like I haven't thought about both these scenarios before. I'm like, wow, Malcolm, you actually still hit the nail on the head. That is how I feel about pretty much every woman I talk to. What does she mean by hi? What's she getting at over here asking me questions? How dare you introduce yourself and ask me what I'd like to drink? Who are these women talking to me? I still struggle with that. Just absolutely no idea. That was the story that like kept me up last night. The Malcolm in the Middle. I'm enjoying the show. I like that part. I did not enjoy that story whatsoever, that bit at all. I just went to bed last night like, that Malcolm in the Middle thing sucks. So let me tell you a better story. We've been planning this like kind of summer trip. Me, Will, Chris, and Ethan. Chris is close, by the way, if you didn't know that, between all the different stories I've told about him. He had to change his name due to some run-in with a webcam girl. But that's another story that he can tell you if he's ever on the podcast. Yeah, so we're trying to plan this like summer trip, and Chris has a house in California right now that he's been trying to get us to come out and visit, but it's too big of a step for, Will and I are both, I think, pretty broke and cannot afford a flight to California and then to like stay there. It's very expensive in that city. And then plus all the golf he wants to play. It was like a $2,500 trip, and that's like all the money I would have probably made this summer in profit after like paying rent and paying for my car and all that. So we talked him out of California. And the new plan is to go book like an Airbnb somewhere near a bunch of golf courses, hopefully like a cottage or something, like something on the water in early September or so, just after Labor Day when a lot of spots will open up, hopefully. And then just do like a little cottage weekend with the boys, and kind of, we'd go for a week, and then on the weekend just like say, hey, if anyone's around and wants to come up, come chill, and then we'll play a bunch of golf rounds, and do the Team Russia China versus Ethan's Willie, see if Russia China can finally take a game or not. But that cottage we're planning for reminded me of a cottage we rented way back in, I think at the end of grade 12. We had just finished, I think, yeah, because we were underage. Yeah, we just finished grade 12, so we kind of, like, after prom is all done, this is like in August, we got 10 guys, I want to say, to all chip in and rent a cottage out on Rice Lake, which I should actually look up where Rice Lake is. I want to say it's like near Peterborough. Rice Lake is yeah, just south of Peterborough. So interesting. I don't really know it's all up there. Yeah, so we went to Rice Lake, 10 guys, all of us, like, I guess we'd probably be like 17 or 18 years old, all underage, and this was like the first getaway where there was lots of drinking going on. I was a sober kid. If you heard my I guess everyone who's not listening on Apple has heard the Aaron and alcohol story, at least the old time viewers. I was not a drinker until I was, like, I guess at this point in my life. Like, I didn't go to any parties before grade 12. Didn't drink, abstained. Even my friends drank in front of me. Like, no, I'm above that. I'm better than alcohol. Didn't want to drink ever. And then this, once again, I got my heart broken. Second time I said that. Different girl, though. And my heart breaks a lot. Once I find a girl, I fall, like, head first down that cliff. It's a lost cause. Just, I'm just a lover. But, I remember, I think I was trying to, I don't know if I was trying to get over her or something, but we were drinking. And it was like the early drinking stage where we were drinking a lot of Canadian Club, not just the whiskey, like it was like a mixed cola and a mixed ginger ale. A lot of Pombays, a lot of Mike's Hard Lemonade, and Summersby's. Just, there was not a beer in sight. Everyone was just chugging these sugary, delicious drinks that I can't drink anymore. Not just because I'm not drinking, but because, like, one of them or two of them would just, like, put my stomach in knots from the sugar, and I'd just be nauseous from just 2 Pombays. But yeah, back then we were just crushing like 10 Pombays in a night. Ethan had allergies to Pombay, or like whatever the fruit like flavoring in it, so he'd have like a box of tissues next to him. He'd be like chugging a Pombay and just blowing his nose. There'd just be a wad of used Kleenex on the table beside him wherever he's drinking, like, half a box per Pombay he's drinking. Still drank them though, still kept buying them even though he's allergic. Just like suffered through it, because Pombays are absolutely delicious. So we rent this cottage, and it's just an absolute shit show. Really, like, not a mature person insight. I can't. It's like a myriad of stories. I know a main thing we had was there's a tree that turned into like the vomit tree, that everyone just at some point in the night, I think at some point during the week, someone had their night at the puke tree where they're just violently vomiting at the base of this tree because they drank way too much. It was like the first time. And I remember he also he went pee one night but did not pull down his shorts, and just like pee trickling down his leg standing at the toilet. Oh man, maybe I should blur out his name for that one, but that was hilarious. I remember Reed, I threw like an Oreo. We were having a fire down by the dock, and I threw an Oreo into the bushes behind Reed, and Reed like got up and just dove into the bushes like he's like one of those dudes with a metal detector on the beach searching for, bronze bracelets or something. He just dives in and then, comes back out, hobbling out of the bushes like the sidekick to an evil wizard in a fantasy movie, and like holds up the Oreo like, I found it. I found the Oreo. And then he eats it in front of all of us. I remember I had a really nice night one night where I didn't have enough booze to drink for the last 2 nights. So I had to take a night off. And I like sat on the dock listening to Mumford & Sons and the Lumineers, being the sober guy. And I think that was the night Captain Cancer made his appearance, which was one of our other friends put on like this is not a very tasteful joke, but like he put on like a bandana on his head, and it looked like he was going through chemotherapy. So we started calling him Captain Cancer, and then he was very drunk. We're like, what can we get him to eat? And we had him just noshing on a raw onion for a few hours. And then he ended up at the puke tree that night, and he was like telling me like, Aaron, never again am I gonna drink. This is it. I promise you, I am done drinking. Which who hasn't had a night like that? And then he went on to do keg day with us a few years later. So he did not keep that promise, and I did not hold him to it. He's a fun drinker. But the story that really stood out to me as like the weirdest thing is one night we're drinking, and the owner of the cottage texts Ethan, and he's like, I want to say it's like 9 or 10 at night, like it's dark out. And he's like, I hope you boys aren't getting up to anything too naughty over there. And Ethan texts back like, no sir, we're all behaving well, keeping the place in good shape. Just keeping up appearances. We want to be, this guy owns the place. And I think he was kind of hesitant to rent to a bunch of sub 18-year-olds. And then he's like, I hope you're not having any pillow fights or getting, too rough and rowdy in my cottage. Like, okay, yeah, no sir, no, we're staying away from that kind of stuff. No damage going on here. And then he goes, yeah, because if you do, I might have to come over there and spank you. And we're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what is going on with this old guy? I don't even think we ever met him when we got there. He just kind of like left us a note in his phone number. And then he texts us back like, sorry, that was actually for my nephew. Like, as if that just makes the situation any better. I can't see any scenario where you're texting your nephew. It might have been his niece or his nephew. I kind of feel like he said, sorry, that was for my niece, which is even creepier because this is like an older dude. He's like, come over, I'll spank you, niece. Stop it, step niece, no. Yeah, that guy grossed us the hell out. He was definitely he must have been getting into the liquor himself at home. Just decided to text his young niece and nephew that they're getting up to no good. Yeah, that guy freaked us out. And then the text with Miko, which you'll hear later in this story. Yeah, I thought that was we also took a boat. There was a paddle boat, and then we didn't have enough guys to fit in the paddle boat, and we wanted to go on the water. So me and Sean found that the neighbors actually had a canoe up on shore. So we grabbed the canoe and tossed it in the water. And then we started paddling out, and then like halfway into the lake, we were trying to go to this island that was across, like in the middle of the lake. And part way across, we realized like we're ankle deep in water. There's a big old hole in this canoe. And I had to like panic, paddle back in. I think the rest of the guys were out like doing a boost run, getting more palm bays. But yeah, almost sank a canoe in the middle of the lake. We weren't even drunk at that point either. That was just shenanigans getting up to during the day. I also pierced Sean's ear with an apple. Had never done that technique before. Thumbtack and an apple. You kind of put the apple behind the earlobe, and then you jam the thumbtack through the front. The first one I did, I was going really slow because I'm like, I gotta go straight. And he's like, Aaron, you're absolutely killing me here, leaving me in agony. You gotta go quick on the second one. The second one, I just jammed it through, and the second one was crooked. And then we had to go to like Claire's the next day or something to get the thumbtacks replaced with actual earrings. But yeah, that was my first big cottage experience. So we're trying to plan something new. Once again, I think this time will be a lot less alcohol involved though, because we're not young men anymore. We can't handle. I definitely, I haven't drank in almost a year now. I don't think I could handle 4 or 5 days in a row again. Like when I was still drinking, like the days were catching up to me. So we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to follow up that shitty Malcolm in the Middle story with maybe something a little more entertaining from the cottage. So hope you enjoyed that, and we'll get back to Aaron from yesterday. Cheers. So I appreciated that. And I'm sure 12-year-old me. I think that show was on like early 2000s. So I'm not even 12-year-old me. I would have probably been like 8 to 10 range. I'd assume the first time I saw that show. So yeah, funny show. Absolutely love it. Bryan Cranston, what a weapon that guy is. From Hal to Heisenberg, like that guy can absolutely do it all. Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle, great show. I don't like that story. I just paused for probably a good 30 seconds there of silence, just staring at the notes on my phone, trying to figure out what to say. I was talking to Maren today. I guess Maren's got to be mentioned in every podcast, it seems here. She's been listening to the backlog, and she got through all the history episodes and all the episodes I did with Ethan, and she really enjoyed them. And I did too. I liked recording those, and like those ones were the most prepared I did. Like I came into a podcast. I had like pages of notes that I'd like studied and like done research before the podcast. And I think those ones were good episodes. I think they could probably use like some of the editing touches I've been doing more so now But I think more preparation. I think I said this last week too. I need to put more effort into these podcasts, and I have not. I'm all talk and not a lot of style or not a lot of sizzle. All spark, no sizzle. Is that how the saying? I don't even think I'm a spark though. I'm just a clap. I'm all thunder, no lightning. You know, nothing coming out of it. I just got no flow today. I got nothing. I can't latch onto a train of thought. I can't. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling out here on this podcast. So let's just go to what I know. I did ask for questions. I asked for questions last week, and Sanna kindly delivered. She gave me 7 questions, and I was reading these over before. And there's some of them, again, I didn't prepare super hard. There's some of these that I want to save them for further episodes. I don't want to read all 7 right now. But there's a couple. Like the question number 2, will there be more diary/journal readings? Can you share a short one now? And I would absolutely love to read a diary or journal reading. I did scour my computer to try and find that document, which I did. And an issue I found was I'm not sure which ones I've read on here before. Like I think we went through the first one, the love letter I wrote. The second one in here I definitely have not read because it's like 3 pages long. So I'm not going to read that because that's going to take a lot of time, unless I already read that. I actually don't know if I actually read that on here. I read that one. I know that. What went wrong? I think I read that one too. Something I've learned. I think I read that one. For those of you guys that don't know, that have just listened to the new podcast, I have this like Word document on my computer from when I was in high school. That's how I would deal with my feelings. I would just sit at my computer and just write out everything I was thinking of, and write, some of these things I posted on Tumblr, which I actually went back and found my Tumblr, and we're gonna jump into that after this. But yeah, I would just write out the things I'm feeling, just let my emotions go. Because once you write things down, honestly, it does help. Like it makes things. If you've had like a thought that's just been plaguing you over and over again, you can't move on from your head. Write it down. Bring it into the present world and the physical world, and usually makes you feel better. Usually, yeah, it makes you realize like the actual size of the problem, and helps you deal with it and come up with more solutions. So yeah, journaling and suggestions, I guess coming from a guy that's done a lot. I was writing a daily journal, like trying to do it every day this year, and it came up till like May. I think in May I just kind of dropped absolutely all of my hobbies. I stopped playing guitar. I stopped journaling. I stopped. What did I say? I stopped something else. Guitar, journaling. What else was I doing? Oh, reading. I stopped reading. I stopped writing. I stopped everything. And now that I think about it, what did I start in May? Smoking weed again. So I feel like there's a correlation there. Would you agree? I think you'd have to agree. So yeah, maybe tonight will be my last hurrah. Why does there always have to be a last hurrah? That's also kind of like such a human thing. Yeah, I'm gonna not do this again tomorrow because it's bad for me. So let me do a full send tonight and really just go out guns a blazing. But we'll see. Part of me wants to get this podcast edited tonight and out. But then again, we gotta start early tomorrow for this tournament. So I don't know. I might just have to. I could just edit this after our morning shift tomorrow. Split shifts, eat a nice breakfast, come home, don't nap, edit a podcast, put it out for the afternoon for everyone to listen to. If you're listening to this right now in the afternoon, that's exactly what I did. And if you're listening to this in the morning right now, ignore previous statement. But here, I think this last one is the very last one that I wrote in this Word document. I don't think I've read it on here. If I have, there's a few of you that's ever going to heard this before, but maybe there's no way you actually remember it. Like if I don't remember reading it, there's no way you guys can remember what I read on this podcast 3 months ago. It's called Dilemma. I think that's the proper spelling. Dilemma. Again, I don't know when this was written. It's my 5th year in high school right now. It's the first sentence, so that would have been 2013. 2012. I would have started that school in 2012 and ended in 2013, my 5th year. So September 2012 at some point probably. Dilemma. It's my 5th year in high school right now. Last year was filled with great memories, and I wish I could just relive it over and over. Having parties with my friends, rocking the music fest competition, starting our own band, making a ton of new friends, Chicago, and last but not least, prom/graduation. I couldn't have asked for more to happen last year. Sure, I had my setbacks and bad days, but overall, I was generally happy. I thought this year would be the same, if not better. I have plenty of friends returning to school, and I'd made more that will be going into their final year this year, so I figured I'd have plenty of people to talk to. Boy, was I ever wrong. This year has been nothing but disappointing. Sure, I have a small group of friends I can talk to, but none of them share that friendship I have with my friends at university. Imagine going to school with the same people since kindergarten, and after 15 years they just disappear, and you no longer see them daily. It sucks. I know I have friends, but I feel like a terrible friend because I rarely want to talk to them. I can't have those long, meaningful conversations until 4 a.m. talking about life or the girl. Oh, sorry. I can't have those long, meaningful conversations until 4 a.m. talking about life or the girl we think is cute or share memorable stories. This year is not the same. I feel incredibly lonely, and no matter what I try to do to combat it, I can't fight the feeling. My friends are all great, and I'm happy to have them at school because it provides brief distractions from my life, but I need to meet new people. The friends I made last year I lost over the summer, and the people I want to talk to I can't without feeling like I'm annoying them. Last year I was incredibly happy, and this year I can't say that I have any reason to look forward to going to school anymore. Last year there were people I couldn't wait to see at school because seeing them made my day better. Now there are people I want to see during the day, but seeing them just brings back bad memories. I'm not sad about this year, nor am I happy. I'm kind of neutral, just floating through life. I'm not living, just existing. That was another angsty Aaron post from the eyes and the mouth of a 18. That would be an 18-year-old. Which honestly, I feel like a little too old for writing this. Like if you guessed 15 years old writing this kind of angsty stuff, I could have seen that. But 18, I feel like I should have been over that. Honestly, 2012 wasn't 8. I was 16, right? 2012. I was born in 1990. No, that's 18. Yeah, that's 18. You loser, Aaron. Also, just shitting on my friends I'm going to school with. Like, oh yeah, they're my friends, but not my real friends. I haven't known them since kindergarten, therefore they just suck. I don't want to talk to them. I just want to talk to my other friends that are all at school, which really, I mean, I think it was like really just Reed. Reed was like the only guy that went out to school. Everyone else, I like did a victory lap with me, pretty much. Ethan didn't, but he was working at an ice cream shop across the street. That's like, isn't that the most sitcom like scenario? Like, you know, we're new year, the TV show started with all of them in grade 12. Then some of the cast members graduate and they go off to school, and then me, the main character, has to stick behind. But his best friend who graduated school still stays in the show by working at an ice cream shop across the street. Like that's my life is a movie. Which I was honestly thinking, trying not to talk about work too much, but like that the scenario we're in at work, honestly is like set up for a solid sitcom. Like if I was thinking of things I want to write again, I was thinking about like writing a script for a TV show called Greens about a greens department at a golf course. Cause like, I mean, we're the number 12 course rated in Canada, and you'd think we're all like prim and proper people, and it's like all very tight by the book kind of stuff going on there, and it's not. It's not. It's a lot of dysfunctional people, myself included, just barely holding it together, getting this golf course ready and like in shape for all these millionaire clients. And it's like it's a great cast of character. You get all sorts of different groups of people interacting, you know, people from all kinds of walks of life. It'd be a great TV show, and it'd be very funny. I have enough like, I feel like stories and like personalities that I could write stuff out and like make a great TV show out of it. That's what I've been thinking about lately. But again, I'm all thunder, no lightning, so there's probably not going to be a script coming out anytime soon, unless I just stop smoking weed, which seems to would be the solution to all my problems. So maybe I just try that, and then if I'm not baked, you know, every evening, it's probably easier to get other stuff done. But yeah, this writing I wrote, it reminded me of my Tumblr. I don't know if any of you younger Westmount kids have a Tumblr or have heard of Tumblr. I think it really just turned into a porn site pretty soon after it like came into existence. But I never used it for that. I used it for attention seeking mostly. So I went looking for my Tumblr after. Yeah, thanks for the question, Sanna. By the way, there is your journal entry. I'm gonna have to find something to read else. I'm not gonna read this journal I've been writing this year though. That's too recent. Far too recent. Yeah, so I found my Tumblr, went on a little hunt, and found the A Brock Tumblr that is out there. 19 Pizza and Beer Penthouse. So last time I would have touched this was, would have been, what's it called? 2019. Yeah, so abrock, ehbrock.tumblr.com. See if you want to go look at it. The picture I have, the profile picture is like, I took that picture in, I want to say 2012. And it was a really good picture, and I used that thing for everything. And not just like for that year, for like 5 years afterwards, because I got really fat when I went to school. As you guys all know, I am a pudge in remission, just a former pudgeaholic. But yeah, I wanted to go find my Tumblr after writing that angsty stuff. 'Cause I remember my Tumblr being just as like needy and like attention seeking as that post made me feel like. And God, I hope I'm not that way still. But there was a bunch of questions I was looking through. Like Tumblr has that like ask feature, and you can ask people questions like using your profile name or like anonymously. And everyone just asked anonymously. Honestly, I don't know why you would ever be crazy enough to like actually, use your face and name to ask a question. So there's like all these posts you can reblog, and yeah, Tumblr, I don't even know do you have to describe Tumblr? It's like every social media site. There's like likes and reblogs, and then everything just goes onto like your timeline page, and then that's it. It's a lot of GIFs, a lot of memes. And then people would like make these question sheets like numbered 1 to 50, and it's like reblog and anonymous, send me numbers and I'll answer the questions. So I went through and found a bunch of just the anonymous questions that were getting asked, and like some other posts that kind of made me laugh. So yeah. Why don't we go through some of these? I think I'll try and read the questions, and then answer them as myself first, and then read the answer from past Aaron. And I can see the date it was posted too, so we can figure out my age. Biggest turnoff. What is my biggest turnoff? See, that's a hard thing to say now, because honestly, as a single 27-year-old going on 28-year-old, you really start to just do away with your standards. Just start tossing things out the window that just, okay, I guess that's not really that big of an issue. It'd be like just really greedy people, I feel like. Like a common one is just like mistreating wait staff, and like that's like a sure sign that people are just shitty people. I feel like if they have a distaste, like a disliking of animals, like I get like being scared of dogs and stuff. I'm fine with that, and like being afraid of animals and uncomfortable around animals, that's cool. That's fine. But like being actively angry against animals and like not liking them, I feel like that would be that big game breaker for me. I need someone that's like I guess no, this isn't things I'm looking for. It's just things I don't like. That's really all I can like. I don't think there's any like physical attributes at this point that I can say like just cross off and say no to. I feel like at this point there's not like if people were like describe your dream wife, I don't think it would be like physical features that describe it, just like personalities. And just like, yeah, just have to be someone that's like, honestly, like a trash man who I am, just like a trash woman, just someone with like low standards for life, just open to like just living, just packing up all your things and just leaving on like a short basis. Not a lot of thought going into your actions, just like acting and kind of solving the solutions and problems after that. That's yeah. And then anyone that doesn't fit into that mold is a turn off. That's it. No. Yeah, let's see what young Aaron said. Smoking and other drugs. Okay, coming from the guy who's just been smoking so much weed this past few months. So I already turned myself off. Lots of tattoos and piercings. Yeah, I don't really care so much for the tattoos and piercings now. That was just a young man being close-minded. I think the entire body being covered, that's not like when there's just no skin showing anymore. That's too much tattoo or piercing. I've seen the people with the most piercings. Which when I see those pictures on like Guinness, like the people with all the piercings like covering their entire face, I don't know why, but all I want is to like see them without all those piercings. I want to see all the holes in their face and what it looks like afterwards. That's like it upsets me seeing all the piercings on their face because I want to see a before and after picture. Like when they do the clothespins on the face, I'm more satisfied by the after the clothespins came off and they have like all the marks on their face. I don't know what that is, what that would be called. What that kind of like mental like a. I know I have trypophobia. That's like seeing holes and stuff. That's yeah, I get that. But what is the? I like seeing like the marks and skin. Like when I'm watching Marvel movies, like Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, his eye patch. I want to see him with the eye patch off because it looks like it's really tight and he has a bald head. And I want to see the line that the eye patch strap left on his head. Is that only me that thinks about that when they watch Marvel movies? You just want to see the crease Nick Fury's eye patch left on him? I don't know. Um, what else? Potty mouth. I'm fine with swearing, just not excess. I don't. I have a terrible mouth now. Just filthy. I'm insulting. I am vulgar. I'm belligerent. I'm really young me would not like old me. Unhygienic. I just took the first shower in like 3 days, maybe 4 days. Disrespectful. I am disrespectful. I agree with. Don't be disrespectful. That goes back to treating wait staff well. But smoking and other drugs. I don't have any tattoos or piercings, but potty mouth and unhygienic. Those all describe me. Where would I like to live? I would like to, like I said, just be homeless, be free, and not like have any roots set down in one place. For now. In the future, I'm sure that would come. I want like a nice big property, go live in my dream, my barn that's been like rebuilt into a cool loft and like sweet pad, but looks like one of those red and white barns on a big property with like dirt bikes we can drive around on and like hit golf balls out into the field. That's where I'd like to live. Not necessarily like the specific country or stuff. I don't really care about that. That's whatever place has the amount of land for a good amount of money and has like friends around. And I said in 2013, Italy or San Francisco. Honestly, don't really have a drive, especially not San Francisco now. No, I would not want to live there. Italy, again, I could see the food being good, but no, it's not really calling to me as a place I'd want to live. Sexiest person that comes to my mind immediately. Oh boy. Immediately. That's tough. That is tough. Who is my crush right now, honestly? Yikes. I wish I had a quick answer for that. I can't even think of a woman. I couldn't name a single woman right now. I guess it said sexiest person. It doesn't have to be a woman. Could be a lad, I guess. I don't know. Shit, I'm just stupid. Oh, I see. I already saw the answer that Young Me wrote, and I think maybe that's influencing my thoughts process right now because that's all I can think of. Which I said in June 30th, 2013. Anna Kendrick, hot and funny heart. Which like yeah, we still agree on that. Anna Kendrick is hot. She is funny. Oh boy, but like. Man, remember I don't think I have a celebrity crush right now, honestly, now that I think about it. And a lot, like, I remember the Kira Santoro. That was, like, years and years I went on that. And then finally, she started dating some Vine star. And I got upset by her choice and just unfollowed her and everything. And since then, yeah, I don't even think I think I've cleaned off my Instagram, too, of following just bimbos and models. Yeah, geez, I'm going to have to circle back to that one. You have to circle back. Well, let's just do more questions. Question 38. My childhood career choice. As a child, I believe I wanted to be an optometrist. And I think I only wanted to be an optometrist because my friend Ryan wanted to be an orthodontist. And I just wanted to fit in as like having big ambitions, I guess. So like, yeah, I want to be an optometrist. I remember we had to do like a career fair thing in the library. And I had to talk about optometry. I interviewed Quinn's brother's girlfriend at the time was an optometrist. I think I asked her a few questions. What's it like being optometrist? What are eyes like? Do you have good vision? And then I'm colorblind though, so I don't think they really want me judging other people's eyes when I can't really tell what's going on in theirs. I also think at some point I want to be a scientist, just like generic scientist. I wish I had a picture. I did take a picture not a few years ago, of like my yearbook from kindergarten, and I don't remember what I said in that either. I might have it. I might have it in my phone somewhere. I'll see if I can edit that in here, but it might not. There's no edit here. I couldn't find it. So the answer I wrote here was childhood. My childhood career choice was an actor / comedian. I don't ever remember thinking that as a child. I don't think I ever wanted to be an actor. Comedian, honestly, I still kind of do want to do that, honestly. I just do not have the confidence or courage to get on stage and like try it because I have this big fear of failure and rejection. And I just want people to like me, and that has to go through a lot of stages of people not liking you to become a comedian. So, that's holding me back there. Current, I want to be a volcanologist. Study volcanoes, nothing new with Star Trek, LOL. And I think current now is I actually want to be like, do something, non-traditional. Something in the, like if I could just self-sustain myself, like doing some, like the podcast, some kind of entertainment thing, being creative, honestly would be just what's it called? Just like, I guess being an entrepreneur and using my own personality and like my own mind to kind of, fund myself. That's like the dream. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 and have to like, have a set schedule every single day. I kind of want to, live more freely. And if that, I got to make sacrifices to do that though. And if that means like not making a ton of money, I'm kind of cool with that. Just as long as I have enough to like keep myself happy. That's really that's important. I do remember wanting to be a volcanologist. I don't know why I wanted to be that though. I feel like again that was just more like I want to be that because I thought it would be impressive to other people because I like everyone. There's so many people I knew that like seemed like they knew what they wanted to do, and now I know like so many people have changed degrees and doing nothing with their degree that they spent so much time and money for. So yeah, take that lesson, kids. Don't do things just to impress other people. Do things you want to do. And you won't, man, this morning, Allie was talking, and she was talking about one of our other coworkers. And she's like, man, it must suck for him to like, think he's got his career all figured out and then to be back at the job you're working at university. Like, I can't imagine how that feels. And I'm like sitting right behind her. Like, yeah, who would know how that feels? Who would know what's going on? How that must, sting to think you got your life off. Imagine having health benefits and be like, you know what? I'd rather just not go to the dentist. That seems like a better solution. Why have it paid for when I can just not go? Same thing. No cost coming out of my wallet. Imagine having someone pay for your mileage and now gas is super high and you got to pay for your own. Well, imagine turning that down. Imagine going for a whole degree environmental science and becoming an environmental scientist and then being like, not what I wanted. No, just could not imagine that, Allie. No idea what that would feel like. But no, it did not. That did not hurt my feelings. Allie was actually, it was very comedic timing, and I appreciate it. I appreciate being the butt of the joke. I like it. We want 8 facts about my body. What would I give you? Okay, this is gonna be a tough one. 8 facts about my body. Number 1, hairless, incredibly hairless. I got bushy pubes. Actually, might as well just come out and say it. Which I don't trim them anymore. I've said that before. I just let them. They've grown to like they've stopped growing. Like your body knows how much pube to have down there apparently, and I'm at the capacity, so it's just stopped. So yeah, and my chest, I've never shaved my chest hair. I got the same hair from when I hit puberty. My treasure trail has never been trimmed. The beard, I just learned how to grow the beard like a few years ago, and that took some time. And then yeah, other than that, just like armpits, pubes, and face is like the only hair I really grow. And on my head, the hair on my head, I have a great head of hair. I'm probably gonna have a great head of hair for most of my life. So very blessed for that. That's one fact. Fact number 2. Jeez. I feel like I have very little acne scarring based on how much acne I actually had. Like it was relentless. The hideous goblin I was in 11th grade. Mr. Toole calling me Frankenstein's monster when he saw my my class photo they had to hand out. He audibly gasped when he saw the picture. So yeah, low acne scars, hairless, low acne scars. Um, I'm in this weird stage where I feel like I am muscular, but also have the same level of fat as I do muscle. So like I've got these love handles that I don't like, and really the belly area is just carrying a little extra fat that I don't like. But then my shoulders look pretty good. So I am this like weird hybrid, like I'm on the precipice of being in good shape, but I'm also on the tilting point that I could just go right back into just full on pudge. I'm just hovering right in the middle. Don't know what that fact would be. I'm almost in shape and almost overweight, I guess is the fact. That's 3. Dude, 8's a lot. 8's a lot. God, my body. I guess beautiful blue eyes. You can't ignore that fact. I got beautiful blue eyes. That's something I'm great with. But unfortunately, they're colorblind. Great vision, but colorblind. I guess that's 2 facts right there. Beautiful blue eyes, great vision, but colorblind. Those are the two different facts. So what was that? That's 4 or 5. So we need 3 more facts. No piercings or tattoos. I guess that's a fact. All natural, baby. Not even. Oh, fun fact here. A lot of uncircumcised men working at Westmount. I did a little poll of the lunchroom. Just asked everyone out loud. Show of hands. Who here is circumcised? Way less hands went up than hands that went up. Yeah, we had like two cut boys, and like way more uncut boys. So that's nice. That's very cool. So yeah, I guess that's a fact for me as well. Uncircumcised, all natural, baby, and no tattoos or piercings. That's another 2 facts. So that's 5. That's 6, 7. So one more fact. What is one more fact we can do for you? I feel like my voice never truly hit puberty. I feel like I said before, that my ball just kind of fell halfway down, and now it's just slowly dropping, like ever so slightly over the next few years. But I feel like I don't have a super deep or masculine voice. And yeah, those are my 8 facts. Now, what were the 8 facts from Saturday, May 4th, 2013 at 5:45 p.m.? I eat a lot but don't gain weight. Not true anymore. I work out but it barely shows. That's kind of, you probably weren't working out very hard, buddy. I'm a morning and a night person. That's true. I don't study but get good grades. Still true, but not really the fact about my body, honestly. Don't think you really understood the question there, so maybe don't brag that much. I care too much about my hair. That is true. I do put a lot of focus into my hair. I feel like the hair really dictates what my face looks like, so I do put a lot of focus into my hair. I have blue eyes, which is the best color. That is true. That's just straight up true. I have really good vision and hearing. That is true. I didn't even mention my hearing. I've got great hearing. I can hear a phone vibrate like 3 floors away. It's absolutely absurd. I hate my voice. Kind of talked about that, the whole puberty thing. Oh boy, I got 3 more tabs for this. This is going on way longer than I thought, but this is actually such easy podcasting. Like, I don't even have to think about questions or anything. I should have done this a long time ago. What does it say? Hi, I've been following you for a while, and you always get compliments and shoot them down. Don't. You are attractive and you're funny. Just a little Tumblr ego, just flirting with my ego. That's just me trying to be cool on the internet. If you knew me in person, you'd be like, what? And then I'd be like, yee. Then we would high five and never talk again. Legit happens every day. That is the most teenager response I've ever read. That is exactly what you'd think a 17-year-old on the internet would say. You'd be like, what? And then I'd be like, yee. Then we would high five and never talk again. Stereotypical, Aaron. Stereotypical. Thursday, April 18th, 2013 at 10:25 p.m. This is how I ended all my days, going on Tumblr and hoping people messaged me and tickle my fancy, compliment me. This person asked a ton of questions. Would you rather be attacked by a big bear or a swarm of bees? I feel like the big bear is just way more manageable. One target to focus on. You can put all your effort on it. It's a ground-on-ground fight. Swarm of bees, there's nothing. You can't really fight them. You know, they're gonna be all over. You can't hit all the bees at once. You're just gonna get stung a bunch of times, and I guess the bees die after they sting you. So the bees are gonna take themselves out. It's just, would you rather be stung by a bunch of bees or potentially get mauled by a bear? And I take my chance with the bear. And as I said back then, big bear, easier to defend yourself from a bear than dozens of bees. True. Do you have freckles? I used to when I was younger, but I don't think I have any anymore now. I did when I was younger, but as I aged, they faded. Very true. Do you always smile for pictures? When I was younger, I never really didn't know how to smile. But then I got my braces off, and I started, like, just had a whole new confidence in 12th grade, and I started smiling a ton. People complimented my smile, and the rest is history. I enjoy smiling in pictures now, showing my teeth. I've been told I have an amazing smile, so most of the time I do. Happy face. Is it okay for guys to wear pink? Yeah, I don't see any issue with that at all. I'm wearing pink tomorrow, so yes. What movies could you watch over and over and still love? I Love You Man, #1 movie. That's really, yeah, that's the one that comes to mind right now. I Love You Man. And I said I Love You Man, Space Jam, and Happy Gilmore. I don't know if I could really watch Space Jam and Happy Gilmore over and over again. I have seen both of them multiple times, but like I have no craving to watch them right now, so I feel like that defeats the question. But I could watch I Love You Man right now. No issue. When was the last time you wrote a letter to someone on paper? Shit. On paper? I don't know. Honestly, might have been high school. I mean, all you people that wrote consent for me on the podcast, you can say this year, but yeah, I haven't written anything on paper in a very long time. I write a lot of letters, just never send them. I just write to feel better. You type them, you idiot. You don't write a lot of letters on paper. Best thing to eat for breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. I bought this mud water stuff because it's supposed to be good for you, and I still have not woken up. I woke up one time and made it, and then just fell off that habit, and haven't sleeping in ever since. So I used to just drink a hot chocolate before school. My mom would make me one, just like a microwave Nesquik and milk tossed in the microwave. Duh. Chocolate chip pancakes with sliced banana. Cool, but I rarely eat that, if ever. What is your usual bedtime? Now between 10 and midnight. And I said 2 to 3 a.m. Checks out. What was the last concert you saw? July Talk at the Key to Bala. I guess unless you count Ethan's performances, but I don't know if that actually counts. If a gig counts as a concert, I don't know what the standard for a concert is. You know, like how many people? What's the venue got to be for it to be considered a concert? And back then I said never been to a concert, which was true. Can you swim well? Yeah, I was actually swimming at an Olympic level. I just missed the cut at the trials in 2012. Is the lie I told. Which my managers actually saw that and they said it was really funny and they enjoyed that post. So it kind of crushed that job description thing. But I've never had lessons, but I can survive on my own, which is pretty much what I still tell people. Do you miss anyone right now? Reedy and Sean. Wow, Reed and Sean Boswell. That's a. I guess I still miss you guys. I haven't talked to Sean in years, but number 9 right in the field. You're welcome, Reed. You're welcome. We got one more tab here, and I didn't write down the questions for this one, so I can't actually tell you that this one. 10 people who constantly text. 14 all the time. 18 it's time, Imagine Dragons, and Don't Stop, Fleetwood Mac. Those must be like my favorite songs right now, and I can't believe I have Imagine Dragons and Fleetwood Mac in the same sentence. It's time, which was like the most. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit. That's like the most. That was the song of 2013, I guess, or 2012. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. So that was my Tumblr. That was question and answers with Aaron. That took up a good amount of time, which I'm very, very happy for, because I didn't know what this podcast was very much lacking, and that gave me something to like get the ball rolling and get the momentum going. Because I was taking a lot of breaks early on in this podcast. So now we got that out of the way. God, sorry, my nose is all kinds of stuffed up. It's killing me, absolutely killing me. So we did receive another consent form, this time from the man who actually spread the word on Air and Air out around Westmount. Michael Juris, everybody. Michael Juris. Michael actually told me one day that he wants to name his son Dane. So his name is Dangerous. And that's like, I said, that's the coolest goddamn thing I've ever heard. A kid named Dangerous. Like, you have to do it. You have to name young Dane. That would be the wildest kid I've ever seen. Yeah. Michael was the man who found my Instagram. I still remember the day where Michael followed me on Instagram. Like, I saw the little notification at work, and I was like, that's it. Here it goes. The podcast is out there. And then I was golfing with him the next day, and like at the end of our round, he's like, hey, man, I checked out the podcast, Air and Air Out. And I'm like, no way. And then from there, he just started telling people at work. They started listening to it. It got around, and now there's like, well, I don't know how many people, maybe like 7 people at work that listen to it, maybe. Maybe that's even generous too. I don't know how many people consistently listen to it, but yeah, I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen somehow. I never told a single person about the podcast. Never told anyone to listen to the podcast. Just figured people will find it if they found my Instagram, and it happened. And yeah, so thank you for that, Michael. I was trying to think today, like, what am I going to talk about for Michael? And first time I worked with Michael, we were pulling weeds in bunkers. Me, Michael, Allie, and Marin. And I remember just talking to Allie and Marin pretty much the whole time. And Michael was kind of by himself, not being invited into the conversation. So I apologize for that, Michael. I don't know when we really bonded, but at some point, we just found out that we're both incredibly immature for our age, and it just, it all works out. Mike was a kind of guy, I say a lot of stupid things, as you know. I say a lot of stupid, out of line, ridiculous things that don't make any sense, and Michael is just the kind of guy that just goes with them. He's a yes and. He's like an improv guy. He's not a no stop, he's a yes and. So I always appreciate that. I love guys like that. There's a lot of guys like that at Westmount, honestly, that it's great. It really makes me feel at home, and I can just say the most stupid, out of line, batshit thing, and people are gonna bite. People are gonna go along for the ride with it. He's also got a very tight relationship with Liam Calhoun, our little sand snorter, and it's an unlikely friendship. Honestly, you see him out there. Liam is he's not a man of great stature. Sorry to say that, Liam, but what he lacks in feet, he makes up for in inches. So like seeing them across the course, it is kind of like gives you like a Timon and Pumbaa vibe, that silhouette of like the Timon, Pumbaa, I guess Simba is there too, but like, like big, taller guy, smaller guy, like walking side by side, maybe like a twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito scenario too, if you want to go a little older than that. Is that before Lion King, actually? I don't know which one of those came out first. But it's like a very unlikely friendship. Liam's, like a younger, kind of. God, how do I politely say this? He's like I was actually at that age, just a nerdier guy. Likes his games, likes staying in, does his workouts, but like prefers to spend his evenings entertaining himself in front of a screen. That sounds like he's just watching porn, but like that's probably only a small aspect of it. I'm sure there's a lot more video games happening than pornography. But like that's exactly how I spent pretty much 13 to, not even 13, like 10 to 25. So, and then Michael is this like football player for university, this jock with like long, luscious, flowing hair that just blows behind him when he's driving around in the cart. And those two are like best buddies. They're inseparable. We were picking up sticks one day, and we look over at Liam and Michael, me and Allie, and we're like, taking big bundles of sticks and dumping them in our carts, and they're like over there one by one, just Kobeing them, throwing them from how far away they can stand from the cart to get them into the cart. Just great guys, very low maturity levels, which I love. Once we get all together, not a lot of work getting done. A lot of people are getting annoyed at the slow pace of work, mainly Aliana. But I really enjoy being with them. So that's Michael. That's Michael. It's so tough doing these introductions because it seems like usually I just fall back on insulting people, and I'm trying to be a nicer man. I'm trying to be a nicer kinder individual. Because there's a lot of people that don't work at Westmount that don't know you guys. And if I just like insult you, everyone's gonna think that I work with just terrible people, or they're gonna think that I'm just a piece of work, just talking trash on all my coworkers on my podcast that they all listen to. So, Michael, thank you for your consent. Really appreciate you getting the podcast out there, because I sure as hell wasn't gonna spread it. And I owe you one. Michael's only gonna be here for a few more weeks. This is Marin's final week. Michael's buddy, well, I guess I can't say his name, but one of Michael's buddies is also done this week. So yeah, the Westmount crew is getting smaller and smaller. It's kind of sad, honestly. Like, it is. Thinking about it, like, this group of people, most of them I'm probably not gonna see ever again after, like, once they're gone. Like, there's not gonna be a lot. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people that's just, we had a good time, but sayonara. I don't know if that's gonna be the case with everybody, but probably most of them. And like, this group is only gonna work together for this one time. And starting Friday, when our first few leave, that's gonna be like the start of the group. The band breaking up, going away. So it's bittersweet. It's sad. I've had a great time so far this summer, and I'm sure the rest of the season is gonna be great as well. But yeah, once we start losing people, it's gonna be emotional. I'm probably gonna have some tough nights. Probably, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. We got a strong group at Westmount, and I've enjoyed my time with each of them. Glad that they they soaked up this podcast and they enjoy it, and they look forward to hearing it on Mondays and hearing stories about themselves, and hopefully some stories about me, and hopefully I can make them make it entertaining for them. But yeah, we're gonna miss you guys. At least I am. I'm gonna miss this group that I've grown quite fond of. And on that note, should I keep this thing going? There's a few other things I wrote down. I talked about. I don't know if I talked about. I think I have talked about. God, if you guys haven't listened to the podcast trailer, which not a lot of you have, it's only got 13 listens on Spotify. It's the lowest listened thing I have uploaded. But I did the, what was I talking about kind of joke where I do that a lot. What was I talking about? And then did I talk about this? I didn't talk about this. Did I talk about this? I didn't talk about this. Yeah, that just made me think of that. But yeah, I talked about, I think I have chipped teeth from Wessick, from blowing a pig at Wessick. And I was thinking about that moment, getting hit in the face by this like 15-pound, not even 15-pound, probably like a 10-pound steel cap, being thrown at a very high speed, hitting me in the face, caught me in the side of the cheek, and chipping two of my teeth. I was thinking about that moment, and I was just like, I feel like I could have died in that moment. That easily, if that cap and I was standing in a different spot and it blew off and like hit me in the temple or like hit me straight on like in the forehead or something, like I feel like just the way how it just caught like the bottom of my jaw and grazed me and then it went past me, like I was thinking about that and how I could have nearly died, and that gave me a lot of anxiety, honestly. Think about that moment and how close I could have been to death and not being aware of it. Now that freaked me out, and it doesn't freak me out now. But just thinking about that, and I wonder how many times in my life I've come close to dying, and then like there's that old, those old thoughts of like there's a predetermined time when you're going to die, and that's like you can't die anytime before that. Which is kind of stupid because, of course, you could always just say that that when someone dies, of course, that was the time they're supposed to die because they're dead now and they didn't die before. But I wonder how many times I've dodged death. Like when I was working for Innisfil, I remember one of our coworkers like stood up in a meeting and like on tears, like I almost saw Aaron and Kevin get flattened by a semi truck today because he wasn't paying attention to their pylons, and like he was like in tears, like shaking, speaking to the group of people. Kevin and I are like, what are you talking about, dude? Huh? We were just clueless that we almost got pancaked on Innisfil Beach Road. No, it wasn't on. It was on 21st Side Road in Innisfil, a very popular side road. And yeah, I could have died. Could have died at Wessick, and that freaked me out. Do you guys have any near-death experiences? I wonder what else. Like, I honked my car horn actually last week, I think. I was at the Real Canadian Superstore. I've never honked. I'm not a honker. I don't have it in me. I feel like it's aggressive. I don't want to startle people. I don't want to be rude to people. So I never honk my car horn. And I was driving out of the parking lot of Real Canadian Superstore. No, it was theirs. It was when I was back in Barrie. It was theirs. And like a car was backing out of their parking spot as I was already like behind them. So they're backing out coming right at the side of Delilah. And I wasn't going to do anything. I thought I could make it past them in time, but I couldn't. And they're like inches from hitting me when I finally decided I'm going to honk my horn and just ever so slightly, as slow as I could, pushed on my horn because I didn't want to honk it loud and just gave a little, huh? Like please don't hit me. Hey, please don't hit me when you're backing up. And honestly, I don't think I got the horn off before she actually noticed and didn't hit me, but she was very close. And the only reason I honked my horn in that scenario was because I was like, Delilah already got some work done this year. I can't put it through that again and get more cosmetic surgery. I can't do that. So I just gave a light honk, and they noticed and like stopped like an inch away from me, and I drove off, and that was absolutely it. Didn't rattle my cage. I didn't say a word. You know, you see a lot of people will be yelling and screaming, "You idiot! What are you doing? Come on, pay attention!" Didn't say a word. Silence in that car. Just a little, huh? And then I kept driving. That was it. That was that was a big deal for me. My first car honk honk. Whatever. Oh boy. I want to see a frog. Oh, okay. I got two last little things I can talk about from last week. Want to see a frog was one of them. We were spreading mulch at work. Here's a work story, and the mulch is all in a big pile at the back of the golf course, like right by a wood chipper. We just chip all the branches we cut down, and then we use that mulch around the trees on the course, which is super like hardcore if you think about it. Chopping off dead trees' limbs and then spreading around the other live trees. Like these are your friends that we're making you sit in for the rest of your life. The dead. Imagine like we're spreading kids' parents' ashes around them as they're at school. You know? That'd be absurd. That'd be crazy. Just their limbs and fingers. The kids gotta be surrounded by it at all times to be reminded that their parents are dead. So we were spreading mulch, and we were to pick it up. We were doing it by hand, so we had these like pitchforks. That's like the easiest way to like get in, because shovels kind of really got to force it into the shovel, getting it through all the mulch. And the pitchfork just slides in easier. So we fill up our truck, and my coworker does his last scoop, puts the pitchfork on the back of the truck, and then looks at it and goes, "No way!" And I look over as he has his pitchfork, and there's a frog on one of the prongs, with the prong going through the back of the frog's head and coming out its mouth. And it's just sitting on the back of the truck. Like the frog's just, its legs are dangling. So he had the pitchfork upside down. So like the curve was like upwards. So the frog's like hanging from the prong that's through its head, and its legs are like kicking, and it's like twitching. And I'm like, oh my God, no way. What are the chances that when you stuck it into the mulch bed, you just happen to catch the frog perfectly to the back of its head? Like this was not intentional. We weren't at the back of the golf course hunting frogs with pitchforks. It was like just a total fluke. So I snapped the pic immediately. And then we're like, what do we do with this frog? Like I was like, there's no way it's alive. Like it's kicking is definitely just like nerves, and like there's no way it survived this. So like we waited a bit for it, like 30 seconds or so, and it stopped kicking around. So like, okay, I guess like we gotta take this off the pitchfork. So I pick it up and put it on the ground, and then grab a stick nearby, and I'm like, trying to like drag the stick across the frog's head and like force it off the pitchfork, and it's not going anywhere. This frog is really jammed on with this spike going through the base of its skull and out its mouth. So finally I just like end up using my hand and pushing the frog off the pitchfork, and the frog lands on the ground, goes into like its standard frog position, like a little froggy pose, and it just like shakes its head and blinks like it's just having a bad day. Like it just woke up from a bad dream. Like, whoa, man, that was nuts. I dreamed I had a pitchfork through my mouth. And the frog's looking around. It shook. It shook, but it's moving around. It's walking around. I like touch its butt. It kind of like walks a little bit, and the frog's still alive after being spiked through the back of the head. I repeat for the fourth time, thick pitchfork through the back of its head, like through the back of its neck, straight out the mouth. And we kind of left the frog on the ground, and it starts walking away into the trees. And we drive off, kind of go finish putting our mulch down, drive back to get more mulch. Maybe 10 minutes later, frog's completely gone. It just wandered off after having that incredibly stressful day for a frog. And then, so of course, I would now want to show everybody this picture of the frog we spiked. So I show a bunch of guys. Every guy's the same reaction. Just the sick. No way, dude. That's crazy. Oh my God. It's alive? What, dude? Oh my God. And then we go back to the compound, and Marin's there, like emptying her cart. And then just without even saying anything, we're talking about something else. And I just pull up the picture and I show Marin. And it's like I just showed her a picture of her mom with a pitchfork through her head. She's like, no! Oh my God, no! God, no! Oh, why? Oh, no! And she gets back in her cart and like drives away, giving me the finger. Like, why'd you show me that? No, that is so upsetting. Oh, man. Ruined her day. So, like, everyone else was giving me great reactions, and Marin kind of overreacted. Yeah, and then for like the 3 days after that, I was just going up to people, hey, you want to see a frog? You want to see a frog? And just showing them that picture. And again, every guy is like, sick. And I love every animal. I would never intentionally do that to a frog. However, the circumstance of it just happening, and I know it doesn't sound likely that it just happened, but like I can tell you from the bottom of my soul, like it just happened. We saw the frog on the pitchfork, unless my coworker had like snuck off, spiked this frog, and then placed it onto the truck just to like surprise me. I don't know. I can't say for certainty, but I highly, highly doubt that happened. That's why I took the picture. I'm not like a frog killing masochist that like I hate all reptiles. No, I get upset when I lawnmower over the worms on the greens. Like I move them out of the way because I don't want to crush them, and I feel bad. So this is not a pro animal abuse story, just a wild circumstance of how this frog not only got stabbed but survived. It's like it's a story of triumph, not just a story of tragedy. You got to understand that. Yeah, and the other thing I want to talk about was, it was like, I think it was Thursday night, just chilling at home, and I get a text just from a random number. Hi in just lowercase, which is always interesting to me because the phone defaults to a capital, like for the first letter. So this person intentionally like took off the caps lock, typed out hi, and then sent it. And I can just read the whole. I'll just read the whole thread to you actually. Musical interlude. Okay, so here's the thread. Thursday, July 14th, 9:39 p.m. Hi. Hey, is this Jay's number? Jay-Z? No, I think I got the wrong number. So sorry. That's okay. Good night. Nice to meet you. My name is Miko. I live in New York. And you? My name's Aaron. I live in Toronto. It was a beautiful place, but I never had the free time to travel. But I have a friend who lives there. I hope to visit it when I have enough free time. I was a big fan of New York every time I visited. You have delicious food and so much to see. Would love to go back. You can go to New York sometime. New York is a big city of food and travel, where the scenery is beautiful, when I can give you a tour guide. Sounds like a plan. I'll see you there. That was our conversation. Oh my God, my notes, sorry. That was our conversation Thursday night. A pleasant back and forth. Normally I just ignore this random number and say, no, this is not Jay's number, you have the wrong number. But I want to go for it, I want to try to make new friends. Trying to have some fun, get some stories going. So I kind of have that conversation and forget about it. And then on Friday at 12:06, if I go there, will you take me on a tour? How old are you? I get those texts from Miko, my old buddy. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of miss this guy. So I get back to him. Absolutely. I'm a strong 28-year-old. I can take care of us. Did you get a hold of Jay? And after that, Radio silence from Miko. Absolutely nothing. Kind of suspicious when I said I'm a strong 28-year-old. He now no longer wants anything to do with me. Like, do you think, was he hoping I was like, I'm 12 years old. My parents aren't home this weekend. What are you doing? Like, that's very suspicious that as soon as he finds out I'm a strong adult, he no longer wants to talk to me. Like, just radio silence. I don't know if he ever got a hold of Jay either. Didn't even let me know on that. I don't want to just, should I text this guy back and like apologize? Like, hey, just kidding. Did I say 28? I meant 8. That 2 was a mistake. I'm a strong 8-year-old. Come show me around New York. Yeah, that was my fun with Miko. I, potentially a pedophile that lives in New York. Potentially a future friend. So, I'll keep you guys posted in future podcasts what happens with Miko. Other than that, we're already at over an hour. I'm dying up here. My nose is super itchy and runny. It's nearly 9 o'clock. I really don't want to edit this tonight, so yeah, this is gonna come out tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for the consent, Michael. Thanks for everyone for listening to the podcast. Thanks for the feedback on the podcast. Thanks for the questions, Sanna. I'll get some more. I'll read the other ones and kind of come up with better things for that. I kind of want to do another history episode, so I'm gonna kind of try and keep my eyes out for more historic. I don't want to just do like history of things that like everyone talks about. Like that's why I like the history of the chimney sweeps and the boots and the weird things like that. So let me see if I can think of other neat historical histories, you know, and I'll see if I can get more prepared content for you guys. But other than that, this has been podcast number 44, I think. We're 8 weeks away from 52, from 1 year. That's exciting. Very exciting. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys for taking the time to listen to these podcasts every week. I hope you're still enjoying them. And if you're not, please forward that to my manager, and we'll get right on top of that. So thanks, guys. Have a great time, and Aaron out.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Now take what you learned and have a great day. Damn, it feels good to air out.